everyone, and welcome back to another DC Universe Miniatures Battle Report. Hope everyone had a good Christmas and a good Happy New Year. Today's matchup, as we're going to see, is the Dark Avengers taking on Zod and his crew. On the Dark Avengers side, we have Iron Patriot leading the team. We have Miss Marvel. We have the Sentry, Ares, and finishing it off with the Thing. For the DC Universe side, we have Zod leading the team. We have Feora. And last but not least, Namek. The mission today will be Boom Tubes, which is scenario 16 in the DC Universe handbook. Players will get 1 point for each boom tube they activate, which is little 30mm bases here. And the teams will also get 1 extra point if they have more boom tubes activated than the other player. Alright, we've chosen sides. The Dark Avengers took this side, and we have the Thing, Ares, Iron Patriot, and Miss Marvel on one side, and on the far corner we have a lone Sentry. On this side we have Namek, and we have Zod and Feora right here in the middle. Without further ado, let's take a look to see who's going to take the first turn. For our tokens, we'll have Zod being black, and we'll have Dark Avengers being the blue ones. Okay, handy baggy. Who's going to take the first turn? Dark Avengers, round 1. Start of the first turn, Norman Osborn has to test on his Hidden Goblin. He has to take a willpower check. If he fails, he loses an energy. If he passes, though, he gains an energy. So he has a willpower of 8. And he fails it, so it's going to be -1 to his power, so he'll only start off with 6 power. So starting off the game, we'll have Miss Marvel is going to attempt to fly up here to this building so that she can try and take control of this boom tube. We'll show you where she ends up. Alright, she flew up to this building here for her get ready for next turn so she can try and control the boom tubes. And the way you control the boom tubes is you have to do a willpower check. If you pass it, you control the boom tube. And she's going to sit on 4 power because that's pretty much all that she can do for the moment. And that is Dark Avengers' turn, so on to Zod's team. So Zod having 2 pass counters since they're being outnumbered by 5 miniatures, and they only have 3, so they'll have 2 pass tokens. He's going to spend 1 right now, so that way we can have the Dark Avengers go next, and he can kind of plan who's going to take the first turn for their side. So back to Dark Avengers. So now we have the Thing who's going to go ahead and activate, and he's going to move, and he's just going to try and get into base contact with the boom tube and maybe attempt to try and take control of it. This is where he ends up. He will spend 1 power to attempt to control the boom tube and activate it. He got it with a 5. So to take control of the boom tubes, I'll be marking them with these dice. Blue will be Dark Avengers, and the white dice will be for Zod and his crew. And that is the end of the turn for Dark Avengers. On to Zod's team. One final thing for the Thing, he's going to go ahead and spend 1 power to go ahead and do hard times. And I did download an FAQ that kind of errated a lot of the Marvel characters to kind of get them up to par with the DC characters. So hard times is actually a blue, not a red. So he's going to spend 1 power, and anybody within range 4 of the Thing gets +1 to physical damage. So back to Zod's team, he's going to go ahead and spend his final pass. Technically he has 3 passes. I keep forgetting that he does have a strategist, so he gets 1 additional pass. So he's going to go ahead and use 1 more and go ahead and let the Dark Avengers take another turn. So Ares will activate, and he's just going to move up and get ready for the coming onslaught that is going to be Feora and Zod. We'll show you where he ends up at. So that is where he ends up at after his movement. Spending 2 power, he's got 6 left. He's going to go ahead and bank the other 6 and be ready in case Zod and his team have any type of shenanigans. So now Zod is going to go ahead and choose Namek to go ahead and go. Namek's going to go ahead and move and try to take control of this box, and we'll show you where he ends up at. Alright, so he is in close contact with that boom box. He's going to go ahead and spend an energy to try and attempt to activate it. And his willpower is a 7. So let's take a look to see if he gets it. He gets it with a 7 exact. All right, so now we have Zod's team that is taking control of this boombox. And let's see if he is in range of Aries to maybe do his heat vision. And he is indeed within range 10. Here is 9. So yes, he is definitely within range. He is going to go ahead and spend 3 power. So I do believe heat vision is 2. So he's going to be down to 2 power left. He's going to boost it and see if he can't get a shot on Aries. So rolling 3 dice. We're looking at a attack of 6 plus 1 because he is still healthy. Let's see if Aries wants to go ahead and boost his defenses. So Aries is going to go ahead and spend 1 power, and he's going to go ahead and boost his defenses. He will be going up by 17 since it is an energy attack. So attack of 7, he's needing 10 or better on 3 dice. And he gets a crit, nice. So he gets 3 damage going on to Aries, but Aries does have resistance 1 on his energy and physical, so he'll just take 1 damage. And that comes with the errata that I had downloaded. They kind of boosted up Aries' stats a little bit. So that is pretty much Namek's turn. He only has 2 power left, not quite enough to pick up that car, and he's not really touching it. So he's going to end that on that note. So Sentry's going to activate, and he's going to move a little bit closer to Namek and start attacking him. And we will show you where he ends up at the end of the turn here. Okay, so Sentry flew, spending 3 power. He flew right next to the car here, and now he's going to attempt to throw it at Namek. He's going to spend 3 power, so he'll have 4 left. And now Namek has to try and dodge this car, or else he's going to take 3 damage. So let's take a look to see if he passes that. So with an agility 7, he needs to take a 7 or less agility test. If not, he will take damage. And he fails it, so he's going to take 3 damage. The thing is that I believe he's got resistance 2. And he does to physical attack, so he's only going to take 1 damage. But Sentry is not quite done. Let's take a look to see what else he can do. Alright, well Sentry unfortunately doesn't have any range attack, so he's going to just go ahead and bank the last 4, and he is done for the turn on the Zod. Feora is going to go ahead and activate, and she's going to get closer to try and activate this boom tube, and by any luck, maybe attack either Thing or Aries as well. So after movement, she goes here, and now she's going to try and activate the boom tube, spending 1 power, so that means she's going to have 6 left, and she's got a willpower of 9, so she's kind of high up there. So 9 or less on 2 dice. Oh, she fails it. No activation for her, but she still has power, so she's going to go ahead and do a heat vision on Aries since he did take some damage, and she's going to go ahead and do a boost. So her heat vision costs 2. She's going to have 3 left, and she's going to attempt to blast Aries. She's got an attack of 8. And then Aries, I believe he already had his energy defenses up. All right, so he's a defense of 18 because he already had boosted it from Namek blasting him. So this means that Feora needs 10 or better on 3 dice. And she doesn't, oh man, that was a close crit, but she does hit. It's gonna take 2 damage, but resistance 1. So Aries is taking 1 more damage. So since heat vision is only a once per turn action, she won't be able to blast again, and that's the only attack she has that's in range. Everything else is a little bit too far, so Feora is done. She's banking 3 power. Norman's gonna go, and he's gonna activate, maybe try and get into range of Namek, and we'll show you where he ends up at. So that's where Norman ends up, and he is within range 8 of his repulsor blast, so he's gonna take a shot at Namek. So with Norman's attack, he's got an attack of 7. Namek is going to go ahead and spend a power to change his defenses to energy. So that means he's going to be a 16. He's going to have 1 power left. So 16 and 7. So Norman's going to need 9 or better to hit. 9 or better on 3 dice. And he gets it. No crit, but it is 2 damage. Unfortunately, Namek does have resistance 2 to power to energy, so he's just going to soak up that damage. Norman only has, actually he has 3 left, so he's going to attempt it again. See See if we can get a crit. And he gets a crit, so it's going to be 1 damage going into Namek. So now it is Zod's turn, and he's actually the last to activate, so he's going to try and fly over here, and he's going to try and do some destruction on Thing. So after spending 3 power to fly 15 inches, man, he's got some energy on this guy, so he's going to attempt to throw this car right at Ares. So now Ares is going to have to do a agility test, or he's going to be taking 3 damage from the car. So Ares' agility is a 7, so he needs a 7 or less, or 3 damage is coming into him. He gets it with a 5, he's fine. Dodges right out of the way. So now Zod is going to go ahead and do, for 3 power, his heat vision and try and blast Ares. Ares already has defenses up for his energy, so he's a 17. So Zod will be 9. Zod's getting 9 or better on 3 dice. Gets the crit on top of that, so he's doing 3 damage. So it will be 2 going into Ares. Alright, that is the end of turn 1, with the Avengers controlling 1 boombox and Zod's crew controlling 1. So the score at the end is 1-1. Nobody has more than the other. So let's take a look to see who's going to take round 2. So who is going to take round 2? It is going to be the Dark Avengers. Starting the round, we're going to go with Norman Osborn. He needs to do his Hidden Goblin, see if he passes. If he does, he gets an additional energy. If he fails, he loses an energy. And he passes, he's going to get an additional energy this round. We will also regenerate 1 on Ares, as he has regeneration 1. And we will activate Norman to go first. Norman is going to be right over here. So he's actually going to stay put, and he's going to take a shot at Namek, and he's still with an 8. So he will spend 3. So that's going to leave him with 5. And he's going to attempt to shoot him. So Namek has a defense of 16 with the +2. He did spend the 1 power. So we're looking at 9s or better on 3 dice. Gets that crit, so it's 3 damage going into Namek. So it's actually 1 point. They are slowly chipping away, little by little. Dark Avengers are going to strike again. Norman Osborn is going to go ahead and spend another 3. It's going to leave him with 2. And he's going to try that same attack again. He's going to go ahead and do repulsor blasters. And he's not going to overload it because he wants the additional die. And he gets a crit once again, another damage going into Namek. Alright, so Norman Osborn has 2 power left. He's going to go ahead and sit on that because he has a feeling Feora might be close in on him. So he's just going to chill out there. But he's going to go ahead and do a strategist and see if he can't force one of his teammates to activate that hasn't activated yet. So he takes a willpower check. If he passes, Dark Avengers is going to get an additional turn. And he passes it with a 3. So the Thing is going to go ahead and activate, and he's going to try and bum rush. Actually, no, he's going to go ahead and try and strike Zod. He's going to go into hand-to-hand and see if he can't start wailing on Zod here. Alright, so after his movement, he is fighting Zod, and he is going to do his clobbering time. Clobbering time is going to cost him 3, and he's going to go ahead and boost it, so he's going to have 2 left. And he is needing, he does attack of 5 +1 because he's still fresh. Zod is going to probably go ahead and boost. Actually, you know what? He's going to try and soak it. He's going to try and soak it. He's got a defense physical of 15. So we're going to need 8 or better on 3 dice. And he got him. Not a crit. It is 2 damage, but unfortunately, actually no, it's 3 damage. Let's see, clobbering time is 3 damage, so Zod is going to take a point of damage. So the Thing is going to go ahead and spend his last 2 points, and he's going to go ahead and do hard times, so that way anybody within 4 inches of him is going to get an additional +1 to his defense stats for physical attacks. And that is it for the Thing. So Namek is going to go and he's going to get some redemption on Norman. So he's going to fly towards him and get into some hand-to-hand combat. All right, after spending 2 points to move at least his 7 inches, he is in hand-to-hand combat. And he is going to go ahead and do his super attack, which is costing him 5. So he's going to hold on to that. He's going to go ahead and do his super punch. He's going to boost it, so it's going to cost him 4. So he's going to have 1 left. And he's got an attack of 7. So Norman did have an energy left. He boosted his stat for physical. So he has a defense of 18 with an attack of 7. Namek needs an 11 or better to hit. Hey, man, he whips that attack. Double 1 and a 3. So Norman is fine. With Namek only having 1 point of energy left, he is done for the turn. Alright, so Ares' turn, and he's going to charge Zod. So now that Ares is in hand-to-hand with Zod, he's going to do his one-time ability, Wrath of the Gods, for 5. He's going to boost. And if he hits, he's going to stun Zod for 3. That's going to take away 3 of his energy, so he has to hopefully hit here. He has an attack of 7. Zod is going to go ahead and boost because he wants to try and make sure he doesn't get stunned. So Zod has a defense of 17, so 10s are better on 3 dice for Ares. He gets the critical, and he does get the hit. So that is a whopping 4 damage going into Zod, minus his 2 for resistance, so 2 damage, and he has stunned 3. So Zod's going to lose 3 of his energy. So Ares only having 1 power left. He is done for the turn, and it's Zod's crew's turn. Fiora is going to go ahead and spend 1 power. She is going to go ahead and try to activate this boom tube. She needs to roll in a 9 or less. She failed it last time. Let's hope she can get it this time. And she got it with an 8. Good job, Fiora. So that means that Zod's crew is finally having a little bit of a luck there. Whoops. Should have been a white die, not a blue die. And now she's going to attempt to move because she senses Zod is needing some help. Alright, so after her movement, Fiora is in contact with the thing, and she is going to start punching. Her first attack will be Super Punch. She's going to go ahead and boost it. She's going to go to 5. She's going to have 2 energy left. And she's got an attack of 8. And the thing has a whopping 18 defense, but he can't boost because he has no more energy left, so she's going to need 10 or better on 3 dice. She barely fails it. She whiffed that attack, and she is done. Actually, she's at 2 power left. Let's see what else she can do. Alright, with her final 2 energy left, she's going to go ahead and do her combat knife, and she's needing those 10s again. And she misses it by 1. Fiora is done for the turn. My bad. She does have Combat Master. She could re-roll. She still gets a 9. She fails it again. Avengers are going up next. Miss Marvel is just going to move, and she's going to attempt to tamper with this boombox and try and control it. So after her movement, she's in base contact. She's going to have a willpower of 7. She needs a 7 or less to activate it. And she just misses it by 1. So it doesn't say that you can only try and activate it once. So she's going to spend another power. She's going to be down to 5. And she's going to attempt to do it once again. She needs a 7 or less. This time she got it. She got it with a 5. So they have activated this boombox. And now she's going to attempt to teleport. She's going to spend 1 point, leaving her back to 4. And she's going to randomly pop up in one of the other boomboxes. We'll say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's hope that she doesn't get that 5 or 6. It's pretty crowded right there. And she actually does. She's going to pop right here in this spot. So she goes from here to here. And it doesn't say you can't do it more than once. So she's going to spend it again and see if she can try and get to one of these other ones. So we'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She goes where she wants to go. She's going to be right here in this spot. And now she's going to attempt to willpower that one. So she's going to have 2 left. And she needs a 7 or less to turn it to her side. She got it with an 8. So now that means the Dark Avengers have taken control of 3 boom boxes. And that is going to end Ms. Marvel's turn. So quick correction, she did fail that. She's only a willpower of 7, not 8. So that is still under Zod's control, but that is Miss Marvel's. Actually, she has one more power, so why not? Let's attempt it one more time. She's going to have one left. And let's see if she can't get that 7. She gets it with a 6. Now she controls it. So that is now under Dark Avenger's control. And now that's the end of her turn. Zod's gonna activate and he's gonna punch the living heck out of Ares. He's gonna do his one-time super attack, costing him 5. He's gonna spend the 1 to boost, since he has nobody else there that's gonna attack him. So he's gonna roll 3 dice. He has an attack of 7 plus 1 because he's still healthy. So it's an 8. Ares, I believe, still has 1 power left. And he's gonna go ahead and boost his defenses for physical. So he has an 18, so he needs 10 or better on 3 dice for Zod. And he gets it. And that's going to be, luckily it wasn't a crit. So it is 5 damage and a push of 6. So Ares is going to take 4. So that means that he is going to be in the pail. And he's going to get pushed right into this building. So that means he's going to take 1 more, but he does have resistance 1, so that means he's not going to take that damage, but he does go against the wall there. And that is Zod's turn. He is out of energy, and I believe it's only Sentry left to go. So Sentry's going to activate, and he's going to get into this boombox and try and control it before going over here and trying to help out Norman. So that's where he ends up, and now he's going to try and activate that boom tube. That's going to leave him with 8 energy left. And his willpower is a 7. He fails it, so he's going to try it again, another willpower. So he's going to only have 1 left. Actually, he's going to have 7 left, on my bad. And he gets it with double 1s. So that is under control of Dark Avengers now. Alright, since he can't move anymore, he's going to try and do... Actually, I don't think he can shoot, so let me double check to see if he has any attack. Alright, so that is going to be it for Sentry. He has no way of helping out Norman because he can't move anymore. So that means that he's just going to be sitting on 7 energy. But at the end of the round, Dark Avengers are going to score big. They score 2, 3, 4, and then plus 1, so they score 5 points. So you're looking at 6-1 in favor of the Dark Avengers. Now let's take a look to see who's going to take round 3. And it's going to be a Dark Avengers turn 3. So to start off the round, we're going to have Norman take his inner goblin, see if he passes. And he fails, so he's going to lose an energy. That's going to leave him with only 6 energy for the turn. So Norman's going to go ahead and activate. He's going to go ahead and do his super strike going against Namek. So he will boost the attack. So he's going to cost him 4. He's going to have 2 left. And he has an attack of 7 because he's still healthy. Namek will go ahead and boost his defenses, try and stop him from hitting. So he's going to be down to 7. So physical will be going to 17. So that means Norman's going to need a 10 or better on 3 dice. And he gets the crit and he hits him with an 18. That is going to do 3 damage and stun 2. So he's going to take 1 damage. And he's going to lose 2 energy. So he will be down to 5 energy. So Norman is going to go ahead and hold his 2 energy that he has left, since Namek is not gone, so he's going to try and save those for defenses. So Zod's crew is going to go ahead and go, and Feora is going to go ahead and do her one-time fast combat move, costing her 2 points. And what this does is she can immediately move up to 3 times without paying the power cost. And she uses her first speed value, which is a 6. And between each move, she can do an attack. So her first move, she's going to move to Ares. So that's going to be 6. So she's going to bum rush Ares here. and make her attack on Aries. Okay, so she's going to spend 2 power to go ahead and strike Aries, and she's going to be using her combat knife. She's not going to boost this, so she's got an attack of 8, and Aries has a defense of 17, so she needs 9 or better. Yes, so 9 or better on 2 dice. Aries isn't going to boost, so she misses with a 7. She needed 9s, so then she's going to move again. And this time she's moving into Norman. So she goes there. And now she's gonna attack Norman with the same thing, combat knife. She's gonna have 3 energy left. And then let's take a look to see if Norman is gonna go ahead and boost his defenses. So that means that he will be a defense of 18. So she needs 10s or better to strike Norman. And she misses with a 4. And then for her last activation, she's gonna come over here, movement of 6. So she's gonna be able to at least, I think she's gonna move this way. So that way she can base this objective and base Sentry. And with her last 3 power, she's gonna go ahead and do combat knife again, but she's gonna save 1. Just to make sure that she is able to boost defenses in case Sentry wants to strike. And Sentry's physical is a 16, so that means she needs 8 or better on 2 dice. And she nails Sentry. Sentry does have a resistance 1, so he's going to take 1 damage, and that's going to be the end of yours turn. So Dark Avengers are going to go ahead and activate Aries. Aries is just going to move into base contact with Namek to kind of help out Norman there. So this is where Aries ends up after his movement, and he's going to do his Axe of Zeus, spending his 3 power because he can't boost that attack. So he has an attack of 7, and Namek is going to go ahead and boost his defenses, bringing him down to 4 energy. So his defenses are 17, so that means that Aries is going to need 10s or better on 2 dice. Man, even with a reroll, because he is a master fighter, he is still missed with a 9. He missed it by 1. Okay, so for his second action, he's going to go ahead and boost this, and this is going to be the God Strike. So he's going to be down to 1, and he needs a crit here because this is going to be 2 damage, but he is going to be rolling 3 dice, so he needs 10s or better to hit Namek. He does have a crit. He gets a reroll of 1 die because he's a master fighter, and he fails it. He fails it. So no dice going for Aries. That is Aries' turn. So Namek's just gonna go. He's gonna go ahead and just do a super punch on Norman, and he's gonna boost it. So it's gonna be his last remaining 4 power, and he has an attack of 7 because he's still in the gray, so he's fine. Norman is gonna probably go ahead and boost. Yeah, he's gonna spend 1 point, and he's gonna be at 18. So 11s are better for Namek. He missed it by 1. Got a 10. And that is pretty much it for Namek. So Miss Marvel's gonna go. She's gonna get moved just a little bit to try and get into range of Zod and take some shots. That's where she ends up. Zod's right here in the spot. Range 8 is actually it's range 10. So she's not gonna boost, she's just gonna strike. So her attack is a 6, and she has a +1 because she's still healthy. And as far as Zod is not gonna boost. He has a defense of 15 on energy. So it's an attack of 7, so she needs 8s or better on 2 dice. She gets it with a 12, but resistance is gonna block that. So she needs to get a crit. She's gonna blast again with her last 3 energy. She gets a crit, but she misses. So did a little bit of a mistake here. Aries should have taken a willpower check to see if he would have stayed up. I forgot he's in the pail. He's got a willpower. Actually, no, it's a stamina check. I'm sorry. So it's an 11. He's a stamina of 11 to see if he still stayed on his feet. And actually, no, he would have failed. But I think he has soldier, which he does, so he gets a reroll. And he barely gets it with a 10, so he's fine. So carry on, Zod and crew. So Zod's gonna go and he's just gonna punch the heck out of the thing. He's gonna boost his attack and he's gonna try and do the overload. So he's not gonna do the extra die roll. So that means he's just gonna have 2 D8s. And if he gets a crit, it's gonna be +3 damage on there. So you're looking at an attack of 7, but +1, so he's an 8. The thing, I believe, is a defense of 18. So he needs 10s or better to hit. You know what? Thing's gonna go ahead and boost it. So it's gonna be a 20, so he needs 12s. 12 or better to take a damage. And no, he misses with an 8. So he's just gonna strike again. This time he's not gonna boost it. So he's gonna be down to 1 energy. And he fails with a 3. And actually, with that 1 energy, he's gonna go ahead and spend it, and he's gonna attempt to try and activate the boombox on his side. So that means that he needs to do a willpower check, which is 10 or less. He gets it with a 9. So he switches that around, and that is now under his control. But he has no power left and no protection from the thing. And that is the end of the turn. So thing is going to activate. He's going to spend 3 power to go ahead and do his attack on Zod. And he needs, he has an attack of 6. Well, 5 + 1 because he's still healthy. Zod is a defense of 15. So we're looking at 9s or better on 2 dice. He's not going to boost it because he wants to try and strike again. But he does need a crit. And, well, no, actually, the clobbering time does 3 damage. So he'll at least get 1 in if he's able to connect here. He gets it with a 10, so that's going to be 1 damage to Zod, and he's going to strike 1 more time, but this time he's just going to do a punch. Now this one he needs a crit because it only does 2 damage. He does score a hit, but it's not enough to puncture the armor of Zod. So no damage there, and thing is done. And I think the last guy is going to go is a Sentry. So Sentry's going to just go ahead and strike Feora. Feora's going to boost her defenses. She's going to go up to 17. And Sentry's attack is a 6. So he needs an 11 or better, but he is boosting this attack. So 11 or better, this will be a 3 damage attack. So at least 1 will go through if he gets a hit, but if he gets a crit, it'll be 2. He missed it by 1. And then he's going to go ahead and do it again. So he needs 11s or better. And he rolled 10s on both dice, on both times. So he misses. And that is actually the end of the turn. So at the end of the turn, we're going to have Dark Avengers still have 3. And they score more. So it's going to be an extra 4 points. They're going to be at 10. And Zod and crew are going to have 2. So 10 to 2 at the end of turn 3. And let's check and see who's going to take turn 4. So turn 4, Zod. So to start off the round, we're going to do Inner Goblin for Norman. He needs a 7 or less. He gets it with a 3. So he's actually going to gain a power, and that means he's going to be at 8 power for the turn. So Feora is going to start off the turn, activating first. She's going to spend 1 point to go ahead and try and control the boom tube herself, because she senses her team is really behind on points. So she has a willpower of 9. She gets it with an 8, so she's going to convert that. So that means now there's 2 conversions for Zod, and then her next action, she's going to do her 1-time super punch at Sentry. Get a mind fart here, man. Couldn't remember his name. So she's going to go ahead and attack. She's going to go ahead and boost. She's going to spend an extra 1, so it's going to be 6 power. It'll do a whopping 5 damage. So she has an attack of 8. Sentry, let's see, does he want to boost? Yeah, because then it'll make it a little harder for her to hit him. So she's going to go to an 18. So he'll be down to 9 power. So that means that she's gonna need 6s on 3 dice. I mean, 10s, I'm sorry. 10s on 3 dice. And she is a master fighter, so she's gotta get at least a 5 here. And no, she misses. She only got 8. So Aries is gonna activate, so he has to take a stamina roll to see if he doesn't pass out. And he gets an 8-9, so he's fine. All right, so since he passed his stamina roll, he's gonna go ahead and strike Namek with his Axe of Zeus. Axe of Zeus does have 3 damage. So he's gonna spend 3, he can't boost it. So we're gonna have Namek go ahead and boost his defenses. And he's gonna have a defense of 17. So we're looking at 10s or better. For Aries to take a chunk out of Namek. So he actually fails. He did get a crit, but he fails on the hit. He needs a 10, so let's see if he gets a reroll because of his Master Fighter. And he rolls the same thing, so he missed. He's gonna go ahead and strike again using the same attack, so he's gonna have 1 energy left. He failed it, but let's see if he gets a reroll this 1. And he still misses it. He got a 9, he needed 10s or better, so he did fail. So Zod is gonna go for his side, and he's gonna do the same thing once again. He's gonna do a super punch, he's gonna boost it, leaving him with 5 energy. So his attack of 7 plus 1 because he's still fresh, so he's an attack of 8, so he needs 10s or better on Thing. Thing isn't gonna boost this time. He's hoping that his defenses will hold up. So he does hit. He gets it with a 10. So that's gonna be 3 damage going into Thing. And Thing does have a resistance of 1, so I believe he's gonna take 2. Yeah, resistance of 1, so he's gonna take 2 damage. And Zod's gonna strike once again. Using go ahead and beef up his attack again. So he's gonna roll 3 dice. And he gets it again, just barely. Gets another 2 damage on the Thing. And Zod is done for the turn. Norman is going to activate, and he's going to strike Namek. He's going to do his super punch. He's going to spend 4 energy. So that's going to leave him down to 4. And so that means that he will do 2 damage with a stun 2 if he gets a hit. So his attack is a 6 plus 1 because he is still fresh. So he's a 7. So he's going to need 10s or better on 3. Actually, yes, because it's still physical. And Namek already had boosted his defense, so he's a 17. So he didn't get a crit, but he does hit. So that means the stun does go through, but Namek does soak up the damage. But he is going to lose 2 energy, so he's down to 5 again. Norman's going to go ahead and do his repulsor blasters. He's going to overload it, so he's going to spend the extra power. Extra energy, go ahead and it's not a boost since he's overloading it, so he doesn't get an extra die. So he needs 10s or better with 2 dice. He fails it with an 8. And that is Norman's turn. So Zod's going to go ahead and pass for this turn since no one is really going to be able to hit Namek right now, so he's going to take a pass for the turn. Let's see what else the Dark Avengers have up their sleeve. So Miss Marvel's just going to activate. She's going to blast Zod. She's going to go ahead and do her light beam. She's going to boost it for 4 energy. So she's going to have 3 left. And she's got an attack of 6. So actually a 7 because she's still fresh. And Zod's going to, well, he can't boost. His defenses are 15. So she's going to need 8 or better on 2 dice. Actually 3 dice, I'm sorry. 8 or better. She hits, but he's just going to soak it because it's just 2 damage. Now she's going to go ahead and do her attack. She's got Force Blast, so she'll spend the last of her 3. So it's just going to be 2 dice though. She needs to get a crit here. No, she misses. So Namek's going to activate, and he's just going to go ahead and do a super punch on Aries. Since he is the weakest of them, he's already taken some damage, so he's going to spend 4 to have 1 power left. He's going to try and punch Aries. So he does have an attack of 7. And Ares has 1 energy left, so he's gonna boost his defenses, making his defense 19. So it's gonna be 3 dice. He's needing 12 or better on 3 dice. And he doesn't even come close to it. Well, he got a 12. So yeah, with a 12 he did hit, so it's gonna be 2 damage going into Ares. So Thing is gonna activate, and he is gonna go ahead and do his clobbering time. He's gonna spend 4 to boost. So he's gonna leave him with 3. So he has an attack of 6. Zod has nothing else to boost, so he's a defense of 15, so he needs 9 or better on 3 dice. Gets the crit. All right, good going Thing. So that's gonna be 4 damage, -2 because of the resistance. So the final attack is gonna do a punch. He's gonna go ahead and boost. So he has an attack of 6. So he needs 9 or better. Zod has 9 of energy, so he cannot boost. So he does get a hit, but no crit, so he's just gonna soak that damage up. So Zod is good, and that is the Thing's turn. So everyone is done on Zod's side, so the only one left is going to be Sentry. So Sentry is gonna activate, and he's gonna start attacking Fiora. So Sentry is gonna do his Sentry Strike. 4 power, he's gonna go ahead and boost. So he's gonna have 4 left. So he's gonna have 5 power left. And his attack is in 6. And Fiora is going to go ahead and boost her defenses. So it's going to take her to a 17. So he's going to need 11 or better on 3 dice. He doesn't get a crit, but he does get a hit. And it's going to be 3 damage going into Fiora, but -2. So she's going to take 1 for her first damage. And now he's actually going to go ahead and throw Fiora. So it costs him 3 power to try and throw Fiora, so he's going to boost with an additional die, so it's going to be all his power. So he needs 11 or better on 3 dice, because he has to do a physical attack on her. See if he can grab her. And he actually fails it. He needed an 11 or better. So sorry, big guy. No throwing for Sentry. And actually, that is the end of the turn. So now we're looking at Dark Avengers having 1, 2, and Zod's crew actually have 2. So it is 2-2. So now we're looking at 12-4 in favor of the Dark Avengers. And now let's see who's going to take turn 5. Turn 5 could be Dark Avengers. It could be Zod's crew because he hasn't had too many activations. Actually, no, I was wrong. Dark Avengers, turn 5. Beginning the turn, Inner Goblin for Norman to see if he doesn't lose the power or maybe gain power. And he does have Scientific, so he can reroll that. And he still fails, so he will start with 6 power. Now let's go ahead and test for Ares. He is the only one in the pale, so he needs to roll a stamina check, and his stamina is an 11. He fails it, but he does have Soldier, so he will reroll that, and he's fine with a 9. And now it's going to be Dark Avengers' turn, their first turn. So Norman is going to activate, and he's going to do his Super Strike on Namek. He's going to boost the attack, so he's going to be down to 3 energy left. And Namek went ahead and boosted his defenses, so he's a defense of 18. So Norman needs an 11 or better on 3 dice. And he gets it. So it isn't a crit, but it is 2 damage. But unfortunately, of course, he does have resistance 2. But what Norman was trying to get was the stun. So he at least gets the stun 2. So that means Namek is going to lose 2 energy. So Norman is going to go ahead and save his last energy for defenses, knowing that Namek hasn't gone yet, but he is going to do his Master Tactician to attempt to have one of his other teammates take another turn. So he needs to roll his willpower check. And he gets it with a 7. He's good. So Dark Avengers take another turn. So Ares is going to go ahead and activate. He's going to do the Axe of Zeus. which is going to cost him 3 power, so he's going to be down to 5. He can't boost the attack. So he has an attack of 7, but he is -1 attack because he is now in the pail. So Namek has a defense of 17, so that means that, actually no, his defense of 18. So he needs 12s or better on 2 dice. And he is a master fighter, so he's going to get a reroll. But he doesn't need it. He gets it with a 15. So it's going to be 1 damage going into Namek. So Ares is going to go ahead and strike again. He's going to do Axe of Zeus one more time. And he needs that 12 or better to try and nail it. And he's going to reroll because it's a master fighter. And he nails him again. So that's going to be another 1 damage going into Namek. And with that, Ares is going to go ahead and save his last 2 power just to be prepared. Feora is going to go ahead and activate, and she is going to strike Sentry. She is going to go ahead and do her super punch. She's going to boost, so it's going to cost her 5 power. She's going to have 4 left. And she is still healthy, so she's in an attack of 9. And Sentry is going to go ahead and boost his defenses. So after the boost, we're looking at 9s or better, because Sentry goes to a defense 18 with an attack of 9. Feora needs 9s or better on 3 dice. And she fails it, but she is a master close combat fighter. She gets another reroll as well. And she doesn't get a crit, but she does hit. So it's going to be 2 damage going into, actually 3 damage going into Sentry with a resist of 1, so 2 damage total. So with her last 4 energy remaining, Feora is going to go ahead and attempt to throw Sentry. So she is needing 9s or better on 2 dice. She's not going to boost. She's going to go ahead and save that 1 power and see if she can't toss Mr. Sentry. And she gets it with an 8. All right, so after the throw, Sentry ended up here. So now Ares has to take a agility test to make sure he doesn't get hit. Sentry is going to take 4 total damage because it's equal to the damage is equal to the strength. Her strength is a 5 -1, so it goes to a 4. But he does have a resistance because it is a physical attack. So that means 3 damage is going into Sentry, and now Ares has to make an agility test, or else he's going to take a hit. And he's fine. He gets it with a 6, so he safely moves out of the way. And with that, Sentry is knocked down for the turn, and that is Feora's turn. All right, so now Dark Avenger's turn. Sentry is going to go ahead and spend the power to get up, and he wants to get a little bit of revenge here. So he is just going to go ahead and spend another point to move. So he'll have 7 power left. So he gets up, and he's going to base Namek. And so now he's going to go ahead and do his Sentry Strike for 4. Not going to boost it. So he's going to have 5 left. Or actually, he's going to have 4 left, I'm sorry. And his attack is a 6. And I believe Namek still had his defenses up on physical. So he's a defense of 18. So he is going to need a 12 or better to hit. Correction, it's a defense of 17. So that means he needs an 11 or better to hit on 2 dice. And let's see if he scores a hit here. He got him. So that is going to be 1 point of damage going into Namek. So now Namek is in the pail. But Sentry's not done yet. So now he's going to return the favor to Feora. And he's going to attempt to throw Namek. And he's actually going to boost this attack. So he's going to be rolling 3 dice to try and throw. So he needs an 11 or better on 3 dice. He gets a crit and the hit. So I don't know if crits work on throws. So it doesn't really state on there. So I'm just going to go with the regular strength attack. So Sentry's strength is a strength 5, -1 because of the throw, so it's a strength 4. But Namek does have resistance 2 to the attack, so he's only going to take 2 damage from the throw. And then guess who's he's throwing her to? Yep, right into Feora. So that means Namek is gonna fall on the floor, and now Feora has to take an agility test, or she's gonna take the same damage as well. And her agility is gonna be a 9. So let's see if Feora can actually dodge this attack. She does, she's fine. But man, there's a lot of tossing around now. All right, so Zod is gonna go ahead and take his activation. He is gonna punch Thing. He's gonna go ahead and do his super punch. He is boosting the attack. So he'll be rolling 3d8s, I'm sorry. And his attack is an 8 because he's still healthy. And Thing is a defensive 18, but he's gonna boost his defenses. So he's gonna go to a 20. So that means Zod needs 12 or better on 3d8s. And he fails it, gets 7. So now, Zod, since he's kind of seeing everybody tossing everybody like potatoes over here, he's gonna go ahead and throw Thing. And he's gonna go ahead and try and boost it to make sure he gets the toss. So after his 5, he's gonna have 1 energy left, and he's gonna attempt to throw him towards Ares, since Ares is almost kind of knocked out as well. So with 3 dice, he is needing 12 or better to try and throw Thing. And he gets it. Gets it with 18. So now we'll show you where Thing is going to end up, because I believe Thing does have tough 2, so it's going to subtract 2 from the toss. But man, Zod has a strength of 5, and throwing, you throw as double the amount of your strength, so it's going to be a throw of 10. So minus the 2, so it's going to go to 8. So he's still going to have, oh yeah, he's still going to be able to toss him. All right, so Ares is going to have to take a dodge agility test to see if he doesn't get knocked down as well. And he fails. All right, so after the throw, Ares fails. He takes 3 damage because he takes a damage equal to the size of the model that was thrown at him, and that's 3 for the Thing. So Ares took an additional 3 damage, so now he's in the red zone, so he's in the critical. So being already down, let's see if he's not knocked out. So he's gonna have to take a stamina roll, and it's gonna be 11 or less to see if he isn't knocked out. No, he's fine. He gets it with a 3. And that is Zod's turn. He's gonna go ahead and save that 1 power he's got left, and on to Dark Avengers. So Thing is gonna activate, and he needs to take a willpower check to see if he still stays up, or else he is knocked out because he is already in the red, or he's in the pale. So he's fine with a 3. So he's gonna go ahead and get up, and we'll show you where he ends up. So Thing got up. He spent 2 power to get into range of Namek. And so now he's gonna try and take out Namek with defenses being a little bit lower since he's on the ground. So this is where Thing ends up. He gets into base contact with Namek, and now that Namek's on the floor, he doesn't get his boosts on his defenses, and he's -2 to his stats. So that makes him a defense of 13. Ben is gonna go ahead and do his clobbering time, spending his 3 power, and he needs a 7 or better on 2 d8s. And he fails with a 5. So that is the end of Thing's turn, and now we go to Namek, who's going to go ahead and spend the power to get up. So he's going to be down to 4. And he's going to go ahead and do a super punch on Ben. He's going to boost it. So he's going to have 3 dice. So he's looking at an attack of... oh, actually, hold on. He's got to take a willpower check because he's in the blue before he activates. So let's see if he even got up. So his willpower is a 7. And no, he actually fails it. So he stays on the ground. All right, so a correction on there. He did make it. It's supposed to be a stamina check. His stamina is a 12, so he does get up, and he is going to attempt to punch the Thing. He had 5 energy left, so he's going to spend 1 to get up, and he's gonna spend 4 to do a super punch, and that's gonna be with a boost. So he's got an attack of 6, no longer getting the +1 because he's in blue now. And Ben's defenses are 20 because he still had his defenses up from getting hit. Actually, no, he didn't raise his defenses, I'm sorry. So he's gonna be back to 18. So it needs 12s or better on 3 dice. And hey, he gets a crit. So it's gonna be 4 damage going into the thing. So actually 3 because of the resistance. So with that damage, Ben has to go ahead and take a stamina check because he gets into the red. He gets into critical after that hit. So let's see if he survives. And his stamina is a 10. And he does not. Ben goes down. So Miss Marvel's the only one left, and she is going to go ahead and blast Namek, since he is the weakest of everybody right now on Zod's team. And she's going to go ahead and spend 3 to do Force Blast. And actually, she's going to go ahead and try and boost. She's going to spend 4. That'll bring her down to 7. Actually, 3, I'm sorry. 3 energy. And she's going to roll 3 dice. It's an attack of 6. +1 because she's still healthy, so it's a 7. Namek's gonna go ahead and boost his defenses, taking his energy, I believe, to a 17. Nope, Namek is out of energy, so he's gonna be at the defenses of 14. So she needs 7s or better on 3 dice. She needs a crit here, so that way she can at least go through his armor. She does not do it. She gets a hit, but it just soaks it. So her last attack is gonna be Light Beam. She can't boost it, so it's gonna be a regular attack. She's hoping for a crit here, to at least get 1 point of damage going into Namek. No, she gets a hit, but she doesn't do any damage. And with that, that is the end of the turn. So we're looking at still the same. We still have Zod scoring 1 point there, Dark Avengers there. Up on top, Dark Avengers still score that. So 2 more points added to each side. So it's going to be 14 to 6 at the end of turn 5. And going into round 6, the last turn of the game. Let's see who's going to take the first turn. And we'll go ahead and do that right now. And it's going to be Zod. Turn 6. So this is the final round of the game. And this is all that's left. We have Miss Marvel facing down Zod. We have Iron Patriot, Ares on the floor, Sentry Thing on the floor, Namek, and then Feora. So now let's go ahead and get down to the nitty gritty. We're gonna have Norman take his Inner Goblin, see if he doesn't fail. And he passes, so he's gonna have 8 energy for the turn. And then we have to take some stamina checks, so we have a couple of people that are in critical condition. Ares needs a test since he wasn't KO'd. And he rolls double 8s for his stamina, and actually he's fine. He's an 11, so he will be able to activate. Thing is already knocked out, so he has to test on his turn. And on Zod's side, we have Namek that needs to test because he is in the blue, and his is a stamina of 12. And let's see if he doesn't go down. And he actually goes down. He goes down with a 15. So Namek is down for the count, but he will have a chance on his activation to get back up. Zod is going to go ahead and activate. He is going to fly over to Miss Marvel, and he's going to attempt to try and control this boom tube to see if she can't score some more points. We'll show you where he ends up. So after his activation, he ends up here basing not only the boom tube, but also Miss Marvel, so he can strike. And he's got 8 energy left, so he's gonna go ahead and do his super punch on Miss Marvel. That's gonna cost him 4. So he's not gonna boost this, so he's gonna have 4 left. And he's still fresh, so he's gonna an attack of 8. And Miss Marvel has a defense of 16. She is boosting for 1 point. Her defense is she's going to go to an 18, so Zod's going to need 10s or better on 2 dice. So this is not a boost, so this is just 2 dice. He gets it with a crit. That is awesome. So she's going to take 4 damage from that attack. So now Zod is going to spend 3 power, and he's going to toss Miss Marvel, and he's going to attempt to throw her right at Sentry, so that is within 10. So he's going to need that 10 again on 2 dice. He's hoping to score it here to see if he can't try and get her knocked out, because she took a good chunk of damage. And no, he fails it. He only gets a 6. So with his last power, he's going to spend it, and he's going to do a willpower check to see if he can't get that boom tube under his control. And he actually gets it with a 10, yeah, willpower 10. So that is now under control of Zod. And there goes the tree. And that is his activation. He is done for the turn. So Norman flew a little further out, and now he's going to do his one-time attack. He's going to do his tactical missile at Feora. It's a range of 14. And this is an explosive 6. So man, everybody within 6, if this hits, everybody within 6 is going to take damage unless they pass an agility test. So let's see if Norman's going to hit. He is going to boost the attack. It's a 5 energy attack. So spending the 1 to boost. So he's going to be rolling 3 dice. And his attack is a 7, I believe, because he's still healthy. And Feora, let's take a look to see if she's gonna boost. All right, so here we go. Let's see if he does the attack. It's 3 dice. He needs 10s or better. Feora boosted her energy defenses to 17, being a 15 normally. Norman's gonna attack 7. 10s or better. Hey, he got it. He got it with a 10, 11. So that is gonna do. Take a look and see what the damage is on the tactical missile. So it was 3 and explosive 6. So that means that everyone that's within 6 of Feora is going to have to do an agility test. If they pass, they only take half damage. If they fail, they take the full damage, just like Feora. So Feora does have a resistance of 2, I believe, on energy. So that means she's only going to take the 1 damage. But let's start down the row. So we have Namek, that's in range. His agility is a 7. So he fails it, so he's going to take a damage. And then the Thing is an agility of 6. He fails it, so he's going to take 3 damage. So he's going to take 2. Because he has a resistance of 1. And then we have Sentry. Sentry's agility is a 7. And he fails it, so he's taken 3. So he's taken 2 because of his resistance. Man, Norman was a crazy jerk there. He took out almost half his whole team here. And so is Ares. Ares is in the way. And Ares is agility 7 as well. And he fails it. So Ares takes 2 more because he has a resistance 1. And that is going to be Norman's turn. He did quite a bit of damage, but mostly all to his own team. So now Norman is going to attempt to do his ability to make one of his teammates go. He has to pass a willpower check. He fails it with a 9, but he does have scientific. See if he doesn't re-roll, and he still fails it. So it goes to Zod's team now. So Feora, rather than trying to activate this last boom tube, there's really no point to it because they're even if they score 5 points here, they would only catch up to 11. And the Dark Avengers already have 14, so there's really no way for them to catch up. So all she's gonna do is get some sweet revenge. She's gonna move and try to get into hand-to-hand with Sentry here. So that's where she ends up, and she's gonna do her super punch on Sentry, costing her 4. She's not gonna boost, so it's gonna be 2 dice. She's a power of, which is an attack of 9. So that means she's gonna roll 2 dice. So Sentry did boost, so he's gonna be a defense of 18, so she needs 9 or better on 2 dice. She crits, but she's gonna have to re-roll that, so that way she can try and at least hit, because she misses at that moment. So she doesn't crit, but she does hit, so it's gonna be 3 damage going into Sentry, -1 because of the resistance, so 2 damage going into Sentry. So with that damage, Sentry has to take a stamina check to see if he doesn't pass out, because he is now in the red, no thanks to Norman. So stamina of a 10. He's fine with a 9, but Feora's not done yet. Now she's gonna toss Sentry, spending her last 3 energy, and she's gonna need that 9 or better once again. Not boosting, she's gonna attempt to throw Sentry at Norman. And that's well within her range. And she gets it with a 10. So we'll be back to show you what everything looks like here. So Sentry only had 3 health left. So after the damage from the throw, he gets knocked out. He's completely incapacitated. So now Norman has to take an agility test to see if he tries to get out of the way, and his agility is a 7. So let's see if he makes that dodge. No, he does not. So the size of Sentry is a size 2, so Norman is going to take 2 damage from the collision, and Norman is knocked down. And that is the end of Feora's turn, and let's see what's left for Dark Avengers. Seems like everyone's on the floor. So Ares is going to activate, and since he was already in the pale, he had already passed, so he can actually spend 1 power to get up. That's exactly what he's going to do. And then he's going to move for another power to get into Feora's range and start to do some attacks. So he will do his Axe of Zeus for 3, so he's going to have 2 energy left. So he can't boost this, so it's an attack of 7. Feora is out of energy, so I believe her defenses is a 15, which it is. So he needs 8 or better on 2 dice. Gets the crit. So the Axe of Zeus is going to do 4 damage, so it's going to be 2 damage going into Feora, but she hasn't really taken too much damage, so she's still pretty healthy. And for his last 2, he's going to go ahead and attempt to do God Strike, and he can't boost this, and he's going to need the same thing. He's going to need 8 or better, and he nails it again, but it's not a crit. So it's just going to go through, so that means that Feora's not going to take any damage, and Ares is done for the turn. I'll go ahead and roll Ares' willpower check, because at the end of the turn they're supposed to take, if they're in the red, let's see if he doesn't pass out. No, he's fine, he gets a 5. So after that, Zod is the only one left. Actually, no, that is it for Zod's turn, because he went over here, he activated that, so all that's left is just Dark Avengers. Let's see if Thing gets up, actually, and he needs to pass a willpower check. Actually, a stamina check, so it's a stamina of 10. He gets up. Let's see what Thing's gonna do. So Thing got up, and he does have Rage 2, so he gains an additional 2 power when he gets up. So after all the shenanigans, he had 4 energy plus 2 because of the Rage, so he has 6 left. So he's gonna spend 1 action to get up, and then 1 more power to get into base with Namek. So all he's going to do is spend his 4 power to boost his clobbering time. So he is going to be an attack of 5. And Namek is a defense of 15, not able to boost. So he needs 10s or better on 3 dice. Nice! A triple 8. So he gets the bonus damage. So he's going to be looking at 4 damage. With the resistance, so that's going to be 2 damage going into Namek. And now Namek has to test, because now he's in the critical. So he's got a stamina check of 10. So let's see if he doesn't pass. Actually, no, stamina of 12. Man, he's pretty mean. So let's see if he's got... no, he's fine. So he's going to be able to get up. So actually, that was my mistake. Namek hadn't been activated because he had been knocked out. So actually, let's see if he doesn't get back up, because he technically should be up. And he makes it with a 7, so now he's going to be able to activate, and he's going to be at -1 power because of getting up from the knockdown. So Namek has 6 energy left. He's going to do his super punch on Thing, so he has an attack of 6. He's going to need 12s or better to smack Thing, and Thing is out of energy, so he can't boost, so he's at a defense of 18, so we're looking at 12 or better on 2 dice. Hey. Oh no, he missed it. He missed it by 1. He's got an 11. So now he's gonna go ahead and do his super punch one more time. He needs a 12. And no, he fails it. So that is Namek's turn. So the last play of the game is just Miss Marvel. She is just gonna get out of dodge. She's gonna spin 1. Actually, I think she needs to spend 2 to get into range of this boom tube. Yeah, she has to spend 2, so she's gonna spend 2 to end up right here in this spot. The last thing she will do is Force Blast. She's just gonna blast Zod. She's gonna keep one of her dice, so that way she can try and convert this boom tube and see if she can't smack Zod one last time. So she's gonna need 8 or better. She's an attack of 7, Zod's of 15, no more energy to boost. So she needs a crit to do any type of damage. She hits but doesn't do any damage because of the resistance. So now all she's gonna do is a willpower check. She wants to see if she can't switch that boom tube to her side. So willpower check of a 7. And no, she fails it. So it still stays on Zod's turn, on Zod's side. And that's gonna pretty much be it with the final score. Let's see, in this round, Zod scored 2 more there. He scored 1 there. So that gives him 3 more. So that gives him a total of 9 plus 1, so 10. And then the Dark Avenger still had this one up here, so that gives him 15. So at the end of the game, it's a Dark Avengers victory. Marvel finally gets a win over the DC Universe by a score of 15-10. I think the Dark Avengers just jumped ahead too quick, and it was really the numbers game. Actually, I believe the Marvel Dark Avengers had just a few more characters that were able to jump around, push buttons a lot quicker than Zod was, and they were too busy trying to beat up on the Dark Avengers rather than pressing buttons and trying to switch the consoles over. But all in all, it was a really bloody fun game. I thought it was awesome. Marvel can do some damage. The only thing is, man, Zod's team having so much resistance, it's really hard to take them down. I think even DC characters are going to have a hard time trying to take this unit out. These 3 individuals, you really got to play to the mission, so that way you can actually beat them, because the numbers game really got to them at the end. And this is the errata I was kind of using, kind of the format. It's an errata I got off of one of the Facebook groups, and it does say Night Models. That's what I'm thinking. If it was from Night Models, I'm not too sure. If it's something that's fan made, I'm still using it because of course this game's already they've stopped supporting the Marvel game. Of course they're doing DC, but I don't see too many erratas on the DC Universe miniatures. So I'm hoping Night Models will kind of give more erratas out in the future, because man, this game is a lot of fun. I believe this is already our 3rd battle report, and I'm glad to be bringing some more. I acquired some other characters that I want to bring in the future. Hopefully Green Goblin, Hobgoblin from the Marvel Universe. And please comment below, see if you like the game. If you'd like to see any other characters that come out in the channel. I am trying to get more characters, Dr. Fate, maybe Constantine, and trying out some more guys out in this battle report. And the reason I use such a small board is just it gets to the game a lot quicker. The action starts happening a lot faster. and that's usually what I've been using at the moment. But like and subscribe, don't forget. Support us so that we can bring you more content, we can bring you more stuff. We are working on more videos. We know this is the first one for this year, but we're going to be bringing some more kill teams, some more of pretty much everything that we can get our hands on, hopefully even the boarding actions. But thanks for supporting the channel, and don't forget to comment below, guys. Let us know what if we did anything wrong. Yeah, feel free to message down below. If you like the game, feel free to message below as well. That gives us more ability to make more of these kind of games for you guys, so that way you guys can get a kick out of watching some old school stuff going on. But thanks for watching, and as always, don't forget to paint your walls crimson.